Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hello. Hi. How are you? I am Darion Marie, and today we are going to be talking about how I take my pictures. If you don't know already, I feel like I'm pretty much a self-portrait queen. That's pretty much all I did last year. So I decided we're just gonna make a video to discuss all of this. I've gotten tons and tons of questions about how I take pictures, like how I edit, like what's my lighting, like all this other crazy stuff. And I figured instead of attempting to reply to everyone and everything and everywhere, that I would just make this video. So that's what we're gonna do today. So I've got my laptop here. I wrote everything down so that I wouldn't mess this up because I want to tell you guys everything. So that's what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna talk about the camera that I use, how I take pictures, where I take them, lighting, everything, okay? It's a lot. So sit down and we're just gonna do this. All right, so let's just get started. Okay, so first off, we're gonna talk about the tools that I use. So this is just pretty much anything that I use to take pictures. So obviously I need my camera. The camera that I use is actually one that I'm filming with right now. It is the Canon EOS 70D. It's my favorite. So yeah. Then we have the lens that I use. This is the lens that I pretty much use for everything. It's the Canon 55mm 1.4. I use the EOS Remote App, which I will talk about a lot during this video. I use a tripod because the camera's gonna go on something, right? But also, you don't even need a tripod if you don't have one, and I will talk about that as well. So, you also may want a playlist. I always have a playlist whenever I'm taking pictures. So yeah, it just really helps to just liven the mood and make you a little more comfortable if you're not someone that does take pictures of yourself very often. So yeah, just make a playlist of your favorite songs and play them when you take your pictures. How you feel is how you look. So if you're playing some of your favorite songs and you're having a good time and you're really feeling it, it's gonna show in the pictures. So I would definitely suggest having a playlist. It's optional, but it makes a difference. So you also may want a power bank. I never used one, even though I should, but you will definitely need one, especially if you're playing your playlist off of your phone and using the EOS Remote App when you're taking your pictures. It's gonna use up a lot of your battery power, and no one wants that. So definitely bring a power bank or just something that'll help recharge your phone so that you don't mess things up, basically. So a few more optional things are a backpack and a water bottle. I would definitely suggest a water bottle for every single occasion. For instance, here's mine. So definitely bring a water bottle for everything and everywhere. And then also bring a backpack so you can carry everything that you need in the backpack. It's just smart, okay? Just bring a backpack. Especially if you're someone like me who does change outfits frequently during your selfie sessions. It's definitely helpful, especially if you're gonna be out for like 1 or 2 or 3 hours like me. It's helpful just to have the backpack so you can put everything in there, your water bottle, your snacks, your camera if you want, like just bring it, okay? So yeah. So, as I said, I do have everything written down here, and we're gonna talk about the how. So I'm pretty much just gonna sort of read what I wrote and just sort of elaborate on each different thing. So, first off, pick a location. Obviously, that is something you may want. Whether it's indoors, outdoors, find some place you like and think is snazzy and go there. Then what you'll want to do is set up your tripod Or if you don't have a tripod, put your camera on something. When I first started out, I didn't really have a tripod, so I would use like a chair or a desk or a stool or just anything that I could use to prop my camera onto. So yeah. Whatever. But tripods are pretty inexpensive. Most of them are at least like $40 and under. I've seen lots of them on Amazon that are like $20, $25 tops. So you can definitely get some really good cheap options, but you'll also want to remember that the cheaper the option may not necessarily be the best, but whatever floats your boat, okay? Okay, so anyway, find your location, set up your tripod, get it together. And as you can see from some of the clips that I'm inserting right now, I'm a little crazy, I'm a little weird. I don't really do the best things like ever. So instead of having my camera sitting in its actual, I don't know, the actual thing on the tripod where it's supposed to go, instead I take my camera and I flip it this way, and this is how I set my camera onto my tripod. It's not what you're supposed to do, like, at all, but for me it's literally the easiest thing ever, so that's what I do. So I will tilt my camera and put it on this way, and then what I like to do is take the strap of it and just sort of wrap it around the base of the tripod so that if by some chance the wind blows or it ends up falling over, like, it won't fall onto the ground. It'll just fall and tangle itself onto the tripod, which is a lot better than it falling on the ground and breaking and dying, and we don't need that. So yeah. So after my camera is how I want it and I am situated in the right spot, I then want to make sure that my Wi-Fi is enabled. So the Canon 70D is Wi-Fi capable, so that means that it can hook up to different things like the TV or my phone, which is what I use to take the pictures with. So this is super helpful and it's like super easy to set up. I can definitely link you guys to a few videos if you do want to learn. I can't formulate words right now. I do have a few videos that I can link you guys to if you want to learn how you can set up your Wi-Fi on your camera. It's super easy and definitely helpful if you're someone that does take a lot of selfies and or wants to. So yeah, so if your camera isn't Wi-Fi compatible, or if you don't have a Canon or a Canon camera that's Wi-Fi compatible, then that's okay. Don't worry, don't freak out. I've got you covered. I've got a few other tips and tricks that I can share with you guys that don't revolve around using the EOS Remote App or having a Wi-Fi capable camera. So don't worry, it's okay. It's fine, I promise. So after making sure that my camera has the Wi-Fi on and is connected to my camera, I then go ahead and open up the EOS Remote App. So the EOS Remote App, it's got some fun stuff. There's another app that's just like the EOS Remote App that's a little more, I don't know, known, I guess. I'm pretty sure what they did was they had the EOS Remote App and then they ended up making another app that was just like the EOS Remote App. But I just decided to stick with the EOS Remote App because I don't got time to learn new stuff. Like, no, like I can't, like, no, bye. So I just use the EOS Remote App. Like I said, there are other apps just like this one, but this is the one that I really like. So yeah, I think the other one is like Canon Connect or I don't know, something like that. I don't know. So yeah. So you may be wondering, what does the EOS Remote App do? What is this thing? Like, why is it a thing? Like, what is it? This app is gonna act as your remote, so that if you're far away from your camera, all you have to do is pick up your phone, tap the button that's on the app, and then your camera will just take the picture, so that you don't have to run back and forth trying to take pictures and whatnot. Like, it's just a dream, okay? So that's pretty much what it does. And what it also does is it allows you to see what you're doing as you're doing it. So that way, if you are far away, you can just look down at your phone and you can see if you're placed in the right spot, if your lighting's okay, if everything looks right, and you don't really have to worry about it, which is what I love. Especially if I'm like out in the wild, I want to make sure that I'm in the right spot and that I have the right lighting and look and everything like that. So it's definitely helpful for that. And what's also good is that because you can see what you're doing while you're doing it, you can also see the pictures as they come or as you take them. So after you take a picture on the app, you can look at each individual picture on the app. And what you can also do on the app is you can also save pictures from the app and save them onto your phone. So then you can, you know, edit them on your phone, or you can just post them really quick to Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So it makes it really, really easy to get them, use them, see them, take pictures, etc. It's fabulous, okay? So yes, definitely would recommend. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention what you can also do on the EOS Remote app is set your timers, and you can also adjust the lighting as well. I don't know if you can adjust the lighting if you're using manual or not. I don't know, because I don't shoot in manual. Don't kill me, but I don't. I don't shoot in auto either, so have fun figuring out what I shoot in. So yeah. Okay, so now actually photographing myself. So when I go to photograph myself, I usually set my camera on a 10-second timer. That's usually if I'm more far away from the camera. That way I can make sure that I'm posing myself in the right spot, and then I don't have to think about it. But if I'm closer in, like I am right now, then I won't use a timer at all, because then I can cheat. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. So, say that the EOS Remote app is on my phone right now and it's all pulled up and it's ready to go. So, because I'm tighter in with you guys in the frame, what I can do is I can just take the phone, bring it down here so that you don't see it and all you're seeing is my face, and then from down here, all I have to do is just click the button and then it'll take the picture, and that's it. I don't need a timer. So it's super, super simple for that reason, which I love it. But as I said, if I am further away, then I will definitely use a 10-second timer, because then all I have to do is hit the button, put my phone down, and then get into pose and whatnot. All in 10 seconds. I know it's crazy, but whatever. I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but I like to take pictures from the side angle. I think it's usually this side. Anyway, I like to cheat, and that's how I do it, by posing to the side. So what I mean is that if I pose to the side, let me put everything down. Okay, if I pose to the side, like so, okay, and then we have the EOS Remote app all pulled up, everything like that, ready to go. Then what I can do is I don't need a timer at all, because all I have to do is take this hand right here that has my phone in it and the app, and just put it right over here. And then all I have to do is click, and then I can pose from this side. Super simple, don't need the timer. So as you can see in this clip right here, I'm doing just that. I'm posing to the side, and then my phone that has the app in it / remote, all I'm doing is putting it to the side of me where you can't see it in the frame, and then taking the picture. And here's the finished product of that photo right here. So as you can see, you can't even see the phone in my hand or notice that I even have one in my hand. So it's super helpful. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, next thing. Okay, so here's a screenshot of the latest pictures that I took. So there I am. And this is pretty much the interface of the EOS Remote app. So up here is where you'll be able to see all of your pictures. Well, not see your pictures, but see them as they're taken, right? And then down here, this is where you can see all of the pictures that you just took. So you can click on each one of these and they'll just pop up right here, so you can just view them. So this button over here, this is what you use to go between looking at all the pictures or looking at what you're about to take, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, whatever. And then obviously this button right here is what you use to take the picture. So this is pretty much your shutter right there. This button is pretty much your settings button. So you click that and then you can change the exposure. You can put on your timer. You can do all that stuff with that button right there. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Honestly, actually, that's pretty much it. That's all I do. Like, it's so simple. But because I am who I am, I can't really explain it in a simple way. Like, I have to be dramatic like I am right now and make a whole video about it, but it's okay. So yeah, it's very, very simple. All you use the app. Or, if you don't have the app, I've got some tricks for you. Just wait for it. So the first tip, whatever. The first option that I have, if you're someone that doesn't have Wi-Fi on your camera, doesn't have the EOS Remote App, doesn't have any of that stuff, all you have is your camera and your tripod and a self-timer. Trick number one is to find something. So what I mean by that is find something that you can focus your camera on and then get into its spot. So what I used to do was I used to take things like plants, chairs, more chairs, anything like that, and focus my camera onto it and then get into that spot. Let's pretend I'm not here right now and I want to take a picture in this exact spot, but how am I going to do that, right? So I'm going to take the slipper. Maybe I'll find a way to sit it here, okay? Somehow, some way, some shape, some form. It's sitting here, okay? So then what I'll do is take my camera, focus it onto the slipper, then throw the slipper out of the way, and here I am. So that's tip number one. An easier way to do that would be to get a mannequin head and some kind of stand of some sort and put the mannequin head onto the stand, and then you can easily move it out of the way and do all that stuff. Plants are also really easy to use as well. I used to do it like all the time. So yeah. Okay, so my second tip is kind of like the first one, just a teeny bit more complicated. So the second tip is to use your hand. So what I used to do a really long time ago was use my hand to act as my focus. So I'm gonna show you that as well. So what I would do was take my hand and reach it all the way behind me, like this. Then what I do is lean like this and focus on the hand, okay? And then what I would try to do is stand in that spot and take the picture. So that's also another thing you can do. It's a teeny bit more complicated. It hurts a little bit because you gotta stretch it out, but it worked for a really long time. So you can definitely do it. It just takes a little bit more effort and a little more guesstimating as far as if you're actually in focus or not, but trial and error is really all I got to say about that one. So tip number 3 would be to ask a friend. I've seen this a lot actually, is other photographers asking their friends to take their photos for them, or just pushing the button. So what you can do is you can get your camera, you can set it all up, and then what you can do is you can have your friend just push the shutter. Just push the button that makes it go cha-ching, and that's it. I've never really done that before, but I know some people have, and it works out perfectly fine. It helps because what you can do is you can set it all up. So you can get your camera out, your tripod out, set the shot up the way that you want it, and then just have them push the button. So that then you're not really worried about if they're actually getting it or not. And honestly, if you ask someone else to take your picture for you, they're not gonna take it the way that you would take it because you're a photographer, so your brain works a little bit differently. Well, if you are a photographer, I mean. If you're not a photographer, then still, like, other people have different ways of perceiving things, so this way you can just make it how you want, and then just have them push the button. So then you don't have to worry about if they got the right shot or if it looks okay or whatever. Because you know that it looks good because you just set it up, girl, and all they have to do is push the button. Duh. Another thing that I get questions about is posing. So how do I pose? How do I do this? How do I look good? And you just do. Like, it sounds kind of silly, but you just do. So as I was saying before, having a playlist definitely helps. If you have a playlist, you have all your favorite songs, you can set the mood to be what you want it to be, you can really sort of get into character, which I feel is what like modeling is, or yeah, it's essentially what modeling is. It's getting into a character, getting into a feeling, getting into a rhythm, just putting yourself in that space of what you're trying to create. So for instance, the pictures that I took in my bathroom a little while ago, for that, I don't know that I used a playlist. I might have, but the playlist that I would have used would have been one that was a little more somber, one that was slower, more chill, so something like that. However, if I'm doing something that's a little more colorful or a little more just vivacious, I guess, like the ones that I did with the sort of 90s inspired look with that little striped sweater that I had on. For that, I know that I more than likely was playing 90s music or just anything that was like really fun and just dancey. So that's another thing to do, is just play the music that you want to reflect in the picture. Does that make sense? So yeah, just sort of put yourself in an all-around mood of what you're trying to create, and that will definitely help you to just sort of move in the right way and get the right feeling going, and then it'll also show in the pictures as well. And also another big tip for me is using the sunlight. Whenever I'm outside, this is also getting into lighting, I forgot to mention that. So for lighting, so whenever I'm outside, I don't bring any lights with me. It's too much, it's complicated, I don't like it, I don't do it. So what I use is the sun. I really love harsh sunlight. I don't know why, I just feel like it looks the best, especially because my skin is a lot darker. It just helps to really bring out all the colors that are in my skin. And also I love using highlighter, so the sunlight definitely reflects on the highlighter and just makes everything pop and stand out and just look delicious. So that's sort of my tip for me. It's definitely using the sun, and just feeling the warmth, I guess, just really helps as well. It gets me into, like, I don't know, a nice mood, okay? When I'm inside, the lighting that I have, I took a picture of this actually today. So I have 4 lights in total. Well, not counting the lights that are actually in the room, but I have 4 external lights, I guess, because they're not actually a part of this room. So I've got 4 lights. So I have 2 soft boxes on either side. Then I have essentially another soft box, but without the actual like box part of it. So it's another light. And then I have my ring light on this side. So the 2 lights that I have in front, those are the lights that are on me specifically, so that I'm, you know, bright and in focus. And then the 2 lights that I have over here on either side, they're the lights that are more going towards the background, so that my background is nice and lit, so that it gives me this really nice white background. So yeah, it's helpful. It's also helpful if I'm using other colors, like say if I was doing a background right now and I had this light going on, it would essentially lit up my hair just a little bit, and also the background, so that it's not all like one color and you can't really differentiate between like my hair and the background. So that's another tip. So yeah, I actually learned that from YouTube. I watched a lot of different videos on how people set up their lighting for their own videos. And so I was like, that's genius. Why haven't I thought about that before? Get 2 lights, put them on the background. That way the background isn't like gray and dingy, but it's nice and bright and white, which is what I like. So yeah, that's what I use when I'm filming or if I'm taking pictures. Sometimes if I'm taking pictures, I won't use the 2 lights for the background, only because it's a lot and I don't really have a lot of space. So yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much it, and that's how I take my pictures, and that's pretty much how everything gets done. So yeah, if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. So bye.